everybody to Aquadac Season 3. We are here to talk today about authentic voice. So what we've been doing this season is we've adopted a mastermind format. We're rewarding people just for being here with attendance NFTs, as well as we're tracking weekly what are sort of lessons that we want to carry forward, with the idea that we're creating this storyline of our growth. Also, the general theme is synergy. So the idea with the mastermind is sort of playing on that theme where we're sharing what's working for us, and then each member can sort of bounce off what's working for other people, and we all get more forward, get more advanced with less energy and less effort and more fun along the way. So yeah, I did share that Google Docs link in the chat. You're welcome to, at any time, to share what your lesson is, just at the first blank one where it says lesson, and your weekly win, which is the other thing, to keep track of the good that we're doing. So we sometimes we need a reminder that we are doing a lot, we are doing a good job, and that helps us to keep going forward and to keep finding inspiration. So, yeah, let's jump in. Basically, what we're going to do today is, the idea today is, we all want to speak from our authentic voice, whether we're doing it for a project, whether we're doing it when we're meeting somebody, or just in our daily life, like how we wake up in the morning, how we think to ourselves in our head, and everything like that. So at the end of the last meeting, we had this idea like, hey, we're all friends here. This is a great place to sort of practice that. So I invite you to, feel open here, feel safe here, feel expressive and accepted here. And we're going to go around and just either share our authentic voice of ourselves, share an authentic voice of our project, if that's what we want. And then at the end, we can sort of reflect, and we can talk about, what I resonated with your story. Maybe I thought you went too much in this direction or this direction, and sort of learn from each other from there. Any questions about that format?
I don't think so. So it's pretty much like a message of what we are doing and at the current moment, what are our yes, interest and stuff like that, right?
So it's like your authentic voice, whatever that means to you. But to me, it's about just being unafraid and sharing what you think is important. So it's not just a list of things. It's more about an energy or a motivation behind you, a purpose-based motivation. I think we lost Corellia. I think she got disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Oh, there she is. You're muted.
I lost the Wi-Fi connection because I forgot that I was connected. But now I have my. Oh no! Oh shit! No. I came to the last floor because it was the most quiet. But there is a concert there. I'm just gonna stay in the center. Sorry, but I don't understand. Who's saying? Sorry.
All right, cool. So does anybody want to go first? I don't know if Corellia, if you have to leave there, if you wanted to go first, so because of time. I'm happy to go first, and maybe that can sort of give an example. But again, it's about you, it's about what you need to practice expressing.
I think if you go first, it would be really, really helpful.
All right. Okay. So I wrote some notes, but it's gonna mess up my screen recording. All right. Hello, my name is Douglas. What am I about, and what is my purpose of being here? What I want to do is I want to inspire people to look inside and to find their connection. I feel that we are all a fractal consciousness, that we are all a part of this divine creator here on the planet, and that it's our duty and it's our mission to digest this energy and to share it and connect with it. I believe that God, like the higher form of intelligence, means absolutely nothing and is nothing without all of the expressions, and that only through all of us really expressing ourselves can we ever start to understand, and can we fulfill the mission of the higher creations of experiencing itself, and of experiencing creation as well. So what is my purpose, and where do I stand with all of this? Oh, okay, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna welcome Rosemary. So I'm doing my pitch, or my speaking from my authentic voice right now. I was just adjusting this screen recording. Okay, so why am I saying this, and why is this my authentic voice? I believe that I am here as one of many who have accepted this mission to change the systems here to allow this to happen. All of my projects, everything within my life, and I try to bring it down to the minute interactions, is about inspiring people or showing people their value, introducing possibilities to people so that they can take that energy and break free to create and to experience in new ways. So from teaching, basically, I mostly teach people how to create and how to support themselves as a creator. With Aquarius.Academy, it's sort of a direct, more spiritual way to interpret that. With CXC, it's very much economic. It's very much a creative endeavors. We're a music app. And then with Tetra, it's about really creating a grid system where economics can interchange. So that's me. That's who I am. That's why I feel I'm here. That's why I'm motivated. But at the same time, a part of this authentic voice is my story, and my story in the last few years, it has been one of freedom. It has been one of enjoying and experiencing life and living a lot of different lives. But also it's one of learning to accept myself, of learning that I am enough. I'm constantly putting too much pressure on myself. I'm constantly dealing with what I think are expectations and trying to meet expectations. And I think that these are very human things. And I hope that by me working through what I'm going through and pushing forward, that I can also use that to inspire others. So what I want to say with my voice is that you are loved, that you are a divine piece of the creator consciousness, and that you are God incarnate here on this planet. And everyone needs to hear that message and to accept that. And once we can accept that, not only are we the creator, but that all others are the creator, then we can unlock that heart chakra, that energy. And I truly believe that there's really only two beliefs. Number one is that all people are good, and number two is that some people are bad. And I believe that all people are good, and that by loving each other through our own experience, through first loving ourselves, through first unlocking ourselves, then we can build this brand new world together. And I want you all there with me. I want anybody watching this to be there with me. And all you have to do is to vibrate, and also like I'm doing, other people are doing all these things to bring people along the way. So that's me, that's my voice. That's why I'm here on this planet. And welcome Dan Singjoy as well. I'm not sure if you're hearing me. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
So just for Dan and Rosemary, I'm going to do a little review of what we're doing, and then we're going to keep on going. I just went. So what we're doing right now is we're doing authentic voice. So what this means is it's about expressing who you are, expressing your story, expressing from a place where you can say anything that is true to you, and not worrying about how it's being interpreted or, you know, any sort of expectations, but just raw, anything you want to get across. And you can do this either for yourself, or you can speak for the authentic voice of one of your projects if you want. Any questions about that, or can we keep it going to the next person?
No questions.
Okay, so who would like to go next, or else I can pick somebody? Okay, Hombre Solar. Are you still with us?
Yeah. Like, I'm not understanding at all. Like what we need to do is like to express like in an authentic way our projects. Is that the message?
So you can, the theme is authentic voice, and what we try to do is just to let people interpret that like as much as possible. So that's why I was saying it can be a project, it can be yourself. So honestly, like if you wanted to share like inner groove, like your goal with, I know that there's a lot of experiential goals, like people having experiences. You can share that. You can share about yourself, but anything that's like purpose driven, that you want to share.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think that it's pretty similar to you and what you said. And what I can say is like nowadays, at the moment, at this point of my life, I think like my authenticity is like to be courageous and just decide to work on my dreams and express what is inside uh, of my inner universe, and also like connect people to create like an expansion movement of energy through music, through the art that we are doing. So I think like authenticity is, for me at this moment, or that voice that we are talking about, is more related to connect and inspire, you know. So basically we are connected, like a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of people, like in one project that is called Inner Groove or concerts or whatever. And there's a lot of people like working and moving towards that goal, and that goal for me it's like express like the universe through ourselves. Like I don't know, like I don't have that like much clear. I just live it, you know. Like I just feel that there's a big energy moving inside us, and we are just like doing like the like this job, you know. So at the moment I think like I've been like kind of stressed and anxious for all the responsibilities that that I'm working on. But at the same time, like this weekend, I realized that whatever happens like it's going to be perfect, and I already did like the task of create all these concerts, create all these events, the album, the band, the music, the musicians, the people that is connecting, all the brands that are going to be on the concert, and all of that. So yeah, I think that is like creating like a network of art, or music, kind of like that. It's like my authentic moment, I think.
I like the universe through you, you know.
Yeah, it's something beyond me and beyond us, but at the same time it's expressing through us, so we are important. So that's like the paradox. But yeah, I'm just trying to have faith and just give the best every moment. And I think that that's authenticity, like give the best that you can do every time. And yeah, and like be honest with your purpose, or what you feel inside you. I guess I think that's like the point that I want to express. Long
Perfect.
time without speaking English. Sorry.
You're doing great. And yeah, that's awesome. And thanks for adding like the sort of takeaway at the end. I think that should be like everybody have one takeaway. And you can think of it while you're saying, but like mine was that you are God and that you are loved is like I guess the takeaway from what I was saying. So Ombre, do you want to pick somebody to go next unless we have any volunteers?
Yeah, I think that Karelia will be good.
All right, thank you, Alejandro. Well, I also was taking a little bit of notes, and um, the I consider myself as a as a soul that's very very much connected to my emotions, and so I feel like this lifetime was about experiencing very 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 deep waves of emotions and connecting through all these different layers of processes and stuff like that. So for me, like we all are like little windows, of expression that sort of shape this reality of this existence. That sometimes it's just, like I can't even explain how amazing and crazy it is at the same time. So for me, it's like we all have these different channels that we find ourselves more inclined to express and communicate and sort of live this existence. And for me, it's, one of these channels is art, and whether it's drawing or painting, or just simply connecting with forms and shapes and color, and imagination and creativity. It's what sort of helps me to unravel, and unite sort of just many different feelings and fragments of thoughts, and understandings of what is happening in certain moments of my life. So I'm using mainly art for healing, but also for creativity, and to take decisions sometimes. And another channel that I feel that is very connected um, to me is nature. So, well, that's I feel that whenever I'm in nature, I feel more myself. Like I feel like it's my safe place, or I feel very um, more present, a little bit more. There's more coherence, in my brain. There's more coherence in my heart. So that's why I feel that also this lifetime is about guiding others to connect with the frequency of the earth, to connect with the spirit of the earth, whatever you want to call it, and really see this channel as a source of wisdom, as a source of creativity and healing and infinite love that you can tap into it whenever you need it. And at the end, it's just also my call is to guide and inspire others to do it, to share at the same time my experience and facilitate sessions, facilitate at some point retreats or gatherings or things like that where we can sort of get to know ourselves, get to really know ourselves and explore ourselves and in nature. Not that you cannot do it only there, you can do it everywhere, but also exploring yourself as you are in nature and expressing yourself as you are in there, create and dance and do whatever you feel like it's really you. It's do it in nature and connect with the spirit of the earth and ground and sort of feed yourself and refresh your energy, because I feel that sometimes we can get really drained and we can get really down and then it's really difficult to really reset and to really process all this information that's happening, all the dreams that are poured into our subconscious every day, and all the feelings and I don't know, just many things. So that's it.
Okay, sorry.
I
Thank you.
think I picked the Space Wrangler job.
All right. So, authentic self. I've been thinking about this while all of you are talking, and it's strange, right? Like your authentic self is constantly in flux, right? Like I was thinking about my authentic self 10 years ago, and my authentic self 5 years ago, and my authentic self now. They're three different things, right? And I mean, it's basically the same base, but things are different and things change for me, and I think for everyone really too. But so kind of making those transitions from, it's easy to get caught in like you hear about, like famous people or whatever, like they get in that, like they become the thing that they're known for. You know what I mean? And I think for all of us, it's easy to fall into that where, if you're an artist or a partier or a, ecologist or a scientist or whatever it is, it's kind of easy to put yourself into that category and just feel like that defines you, right? And then when those things change, right, it can be difficult, and you're like, who am I really? You know what I mean? That thing that defined me isn't there, you know. Trying to maintain that self within that, with accepting life and time changes that come, um so I think that's kind of one thing I'm navigating right now, me personally. um and yeah, I think I'm doing okay. It's interesting because you tend to like cling back to the things because it's easier, and safer, right? So like breaking out of things that you used to do. So for me in particular, I used to work a lot with stage and sound and events and doing all that kind of stuff, and working 16 hours over a weekend, but then having a week off, but just like killing myself making these things happen. And I'm getting old, and so I was transitioning to working with my mind and on a computer and programming and different things like that. And it's a struggle, and it's like money wise, I make so much less money. It's very difficult. And so it's like just having faith and believing that I can do that, and to like leave the safe area for the change has been a difficult thing for me. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me, my authentic self, which I am always constantly in the search of, I guess. Okay, who is next? Next to me is Rosemary.
Okay, great. Thanks, Joe, and Gluso, and Ombre, Solar, and Carolia. And so, my authentic self. I have so many authentic selves. It's hard to choose which one to talk about. Authentic voice. I probably have a few of those as well.
Yes, sir. It's about like speaking from your authentic voice, which is part of your authentic self. But if it's easier to think of it like that.
Authentic voice. Well, my authentic voice, I speak to it pretty often. One of the strongest feelings that I have on a daily basis is I feel the success like coming closer and closer, and I'm trying to prepare for it and meet it halfway. And that is on the basis that I'm monitoring what I'm doing with what is happening around me, as a reflection of my efforts and my team's efforts, or whoever I'm collaborating with, and I monitor their impact, and I kind of see how it's a forming of a wave that is coming towards us, and we have to surf on it, and it's approaching. And so that's a nice feeling. I feel it every day. So that's good. I feel that I'm doing the right thing, and that is very important. Although it's a bit questionable what is right or wrong. And also, I am manifesting a lot of it. I imagine and think about the steps that would provoke my success, and I try to go towards them and prioritize them and connect my choices with my authentic voice and align there. So I'm pressuring myself a lot. And I'm trying not to, but it is hard because I always think I can do more. But also I just recently started to just again remind myself to celebrate more and take more time off or away, and to refresh the energy. And I cry too. I feel like crying is really, there's no tears wasted, right? So I think when I cry, it calms me down. So I like to cry, actually. And and this is a way to deal with my emotions, really, too. And if there are moments where I'm ignoring my authentic voice, it builds up because I'm not paying too much attention to it. And then when I cry, this is when I am giving all my attention. I can cry about everything that is going on. And I learned that this works for me, but I think I for sure have to work on that to not reach that moment of wanting to cry, and treat and listen to my authentic voice more and more. And yes, yesterday I made a note about that everything has a purpose, and it's just that we don't always see the purpose sometimes. But usually everything has a purpose. And I think when sometimes we don't see the purpose in the moment and we feel kind of discouraged, like, why is it not working? Why am I burnt out again? And all those things. But actually, there's a purpose that we maybe in the moment don't see. So that's my takeaway. And this is it. I can talk more, but I feel like this is enough. And you go then.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Rosemary. And thanks, Budasol and Umbre and Curly and Big Finger Joe. Really good to hear from all of you. And yeah, interesting hearing people's authentic voices and authentic selves. I mostly just been listening and just like totally immersed in just listening to every story. So I don't really know what to say as far as my authentic voice. I haven't like thought about it, but yeah, I thought about it here and there, but mostly just so like it's really interesting hearing from everybody. So my authentic voice. I mean, different things are popping up in my head when I was thinking about what my authentic voice is, and well, like what to say, I guess. But I guess it's just whatever comes out at the moment to some extent, like letting it flow and letting it roll. And yeah, I've been thinking a lot about playfulness, I suppose, is one thing that working on sharing like play with people. And I don't know, that's an authentic part when like you're really into playing and you're really enjoying it. And well, I'm lucky to have been able to play a lot in my life. And I think a lot of us are pretty lucky for that. And everybody who gets to play is lucky to some extent. But yeah, I think it's also like I don't know, we have like responsibility to share what we can in and help people like play and help people enjoy it. So I don't know if that's the authentic self. Like there's probably so many different angles I could say, like Rosemary was saying, having many different authentic voice and everything, but going back to the what comes out and stuff, like I've been thinking about that a lot. It was interesting hearing from Rosemary as I've been working closely with Rosemary, and she's talking about feeling like the wave is coming in success. And I feel like we're all on that path. Like we all have a lot of momentum going around us and like people we're collaborating with and a lot of the things that we think and like the ideas that we share and things we want to do and stuff. There's also, you know, all sorts of challenges and stuff too along the way, of course. But yeah, I've been thinking about that and how to like really bring it to the next level about how to share that with much more people, like share a lot more playfulness and fun and help everybody get along really well and enjoy it. And I go with the saying and make the best experience possible a lot. So like really see what we can do and go for that in every moment. I like what Humbre Solar said too. And it reminded me of how I think about. I mentioned it a couple of times before, and I still mess it up every time I retweet it recently. But Jordan Peterson shared a thing about like how every person is like a defined locus of attention. I believe he talks about it, and he says like he has a deep belief that everybody plays like a deep role in the future of the world and the future of society and humanity and everything like that. Like every person has that deep responsibility, but also or huge opportunity. And like so, treating every moment with every person as well as you can, and like enjoying along the way and taking all the challenges in stride. So. maybe I'll leave it there. That could also be a takeaway, I suppose, too, because Gudo, you mentioned having a takeaway. Sorry, by the way, that was a bit late. I missed yours, Gudo. So I'm glad you're recording these, and so I'm interested to listen to yours, and also the last week's one too. So thanks for posting those. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the takeaway could be like, let's play more and let's figure out the best ways to play and like make it more fun than ever and gamify life in a way. But also doing it in a way that like it's, I don't know, like understanding the depths and the struggles and the risks, because there's like big risks and struggles and difficulties in life too. But taking those in stride and doing the best we can to share more play.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. It's really beautiful to hear what we're all working from. And like, before I go, I do have things like little feedback, but I want to share the idea of like, we're all here to help each other and to make each other better. So with the feedback, like highlight what you think is value, that the other person can be louder, or or they can share more, if that makes sense. So like, I guess I'll go forward and I'll do a little bit of feedback, and then like, everybody can do feedback as well. I think with Hombre Solar, like the core message is that, the universe is working through you. And I think that that's a big part of like the experience that you're sort of awakening with people. So maybe that's, and I know that already is a big part of your narrative. So maybe that's something more to go forward. Corellia.
Sorry, I was muted. I wanted to say goodbye because my phone is gonna die anytime. So I want to just say thank you to everyone for sharing their authentic voices today, and I feel very, very grateful and blessed to be here today with all of you. And I hope to see you next week, and I hope you have a nice week as well. And I love you. That's it. I'm gonna say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Curly. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so I was gonna say for Corellia, like, it's just super important for the filtering of the energies, and like realizing like what she's doing in my mind is helping people to empty out their vessels so they can have new things come in. Space Wrangler, I think like stepping outside of the comfort zone, like that's the biggest message that I resonate with. And I know that you were talking about like authentic self, but like, what is the sort of something to think about is like, what is the voice that you present your new self in? That's what I'm working on, is like how I can maintain this energy of my true self without sort of falling down into these things. And then Rosemary crying, like that's an absolutely wonderful therapy, and I'm a big crier as well. And yet Dan, like, I think my feedback is that you are an extremely valuable person, and you are extremely, like, the things that you're doing are really amazing, and just presenting that and selling it in a way that shows people that what they can benefit from with that playfulness, right? And maybe even make it a playful way that you can introduce yourself and that you can introduce the projects. I think that that's an absolutely wonderful way to expand. And I certainly look forward to working together and to being involved in projects together where we can continue to work on these games and to be playful and things like that. So yeah, thank you for listening to my monologue feedback. The floor is open.
Well, I just want to just go ahead and respond. Just want to say thanks, Kusal. It means a lot. You're also doing incredibly helpful work too, and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you hosting this. And very excited to collaborate with you as well, and looking forward to playing a lot more with you. And same for Rosemary and Space Ranger, John Umbre, and shout out to Corellia too. So thank you very much.
Okay, so what other feedback do we have? Things that we want people to focus on, things that we see good that people to uncover more value in each other.
I'm not totally sure to say that because I was still kind of, I realized there's something I didn't respond to before that you were saying about like just that as far as there's some helpful tips I think you shared, or just like just a way of looking at sharing the playing the games and stuff like that. So well at this point it's already been like a little while ago. So but I thought that was inspiring, and wanted to mention that. And yeah, I think strategizing of that's good, but also I don't want to focus too much on my specific thing. I just want to say I was inspired by what you shared there. So, but I don't know what to share as far as everybody else's feedback, like, or everybody else's authentic selves. Perhaps you could share a bit more what you mean, like about providing feedback about how they can be, well, but as about how they should be to improve, or I'm not totally sure what the prompt is.
I guess the idea was just to kind of highlight, highlight what we think is working for other people. I mean, I'm happy to go around and do my thing, but I think that the point is not for me to just be like, oh, I'm the Aquadac guy. Let me tell you all what it is. The idea is synergy. So like, for example, I think that something that a lot of us could benefit from, and I'm constantly trying to improve, is my actual voice, like the actual speaking voice that I'm using to communicate. I'm a person that I have a wide range of voices, right? And I also have this voice like right now that I'm very sort of deep and almost commanding. And I can change that voice because other times I'm very almost like silly, and I'm talking kind of like a child. And the problem for me becomes when I'm not, like I say, like I'm not wearing the right hat, right? Because I have these different hats which represent roles. Like one is a web developer, one is a little kid who's still healing. We all have that child. And then the other one is the person that I want to be. So the idea here is let's step into that person that we want to be, and let's embody that and let that speak for us. Because once we're speaking from that person, then we're hearing the echoes back from reality. And as we're hearing those echoes, then we know, what decisions and things, and we sort of get right out. So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, I think this is a great feedback and something to keep in mind, to act and speak and behave like you're already there. Like, yes, so think like who you want to be. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be it.
And one thing I really resonated with you is like you feel that success is coming, like you feel that coming. That's what brings it to you, It's like it's the self-fulfilling prophecy, and like I know you're going to be successful. I know that the people you work with are going to be successful because of that, and that's such a powerful thing, is just that faith, that belief. And also having the faith, like Space Wrangler was talking about, to let go of the things that have worked before and step out of our comfort zone. And I'll be the first to tell you, I am struggling with that right now, very struggling. So like I've been trying to make this leap to Aquarius Academy, but I'm still, I find myself just trying to run back to the things that work because I need to meet these sort of base needs. So like, for me, what I'm taking forward from this is I'm more inspired, and I'm more, I realize I need to step outside of that comfort zone. Thank you, Space Wrangler, for the reminder. Okay, well, if nobody else has anything, they're still welcome if you think of things, but let's go ahead and think about what we want to talk next time. So one thing that we did last week is we sort of went around and talked about like the challenges that we're facing. So if anybody, Rosemary, you're on camera, so you're welcome to go first. Like, just share 1 or 2 or 3 challenges that you're facing in life or projects.
Challenges. So not ignore my body when it tells me that it needs a rest, needs to go out, and not pushing myself that hard constantly. So I am struggling with that a bit.
Okay, that's a great one. Space Wrangler, what are you working on? What's challenging for you recently?
So for me, a few different things, but I'm trying to get this book out, and I have a couple of things. This book's been done for a while, but I've been working with a developer friend of mine to get a gated website going. So if you have an NFT, you can read the ebook. And that's been a challenge just because I don't do coding very well. And so I'm like totally reliant on this other person who's been saying for like a year here that, or maybe 8 months or something that, oh yeah, no problem. And it's still a problem. So that's been difficult because again, I don't have the wherewithal or the abilities to just be like, well, sure, I'll do it then. You know what I mean? It just kind of sucks. And then another challenge I'm going through right now is again the same thing, but it's whitelisting with Atomic Hub, so I can have my thing obvious when it comes up. I was going through the process before they switched ownership, and so then I've had to like restart the whole process over again. So that's been kind of a little bit of a struggle. My content stuff that I've been working on as far as like YouTube and all that has been slow going, and I'm really bad about asking people to
You froze.
yeah, and then just maintaining a lot. I've by taking out my normal income, I've had to put my irons in a lot of fires to make ends meet, and so trying to stay on top of everything in that can be a little bit difficult. And so yeah, those have been my struggles as of late, beyond just the normal life struggles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But life's been pretty good. I'm super grateful. And yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Ambre, any challenges? What's the challenges?
My biggest challenge at the moment is to have like, I don't know how to say this in English, like the equilibrium point in the financial situation, like have no debts. That's my biggest challenge, like at the moment. Like, of course, I would love to have like to earn money from the concerts, but at the moment, like we need to achieve that equilibrium point to have no debts. So yeah, I'm dealing with that, like selling tickets, also because a lot of people ask for the information of the events, but then they don't buy the ticket. Or I don't know, they just wait for until until the last day, or I don't know. So that's part of my biggest challenge now, just to get to that equilibrium financial point.
Okay, and Dan.
I suppose, and there's a lot of challenges. Like there's so much to do, and there's a lot of challenges to do, and a lot of them are good challenges. Like you grow by doing it. Perhaps all of them are. I think that phrase like the obstacle is the way. I think about that kind of Stoic philosophy a lot. So challenges are good, and there's a lot of good challenges. But I suppose one challenge that I have that I could speak about here is like being able to like there's so much to do and being able to respond to people. I feel bad sometimes because it take a while to respond to people, and like there's people who I care about a lot who I haven't kept in touch with, like friends who I grew up with or people who I work with, and it happens often. So just being able to like do everything and also feel good about like getting back to people promptly. And I suppose it's also going well. Like I'm very grateful, and I think it's a challenge, and I think people are very understanding and kind usually when it takes a little while to get back to them. But I'd still like to be able to organize that better. And organizing in general is a challenge too, but something I'm continually getting better at, to organize like all the tasks and times as effectively as possible to be able to help out and share the best times that we can.
Okay. For me, I think my challenges, like I definitely have real world challenges of like making ends meet. But I also think the deeper challenge below that is just to have faith. And like Space Wrangler was talking about, like it's easy to go back to the things that we know were working before. So like for me, that's teaching but teaching in a specific way and things like that. And I just stopped enjoying that. So the challenge for me is to completely step in through trust my authentic self, trust my authentic voice. And like Rosemary was saying, realizing that maybe I don't see the purpose right now. Maybe I don't see all the parts, and I just need to have a little bit of faith so that I'm ready to receive that wave of success. So anybody have ideas after listening, like what they think is a good idea for a topic?
What brings us faith? Is that too much?
I don't, it's too little. I don't know what to go with that. Like,
Did you hear me?
what brings you faith?
Yes.
But I don't know that. I don't know if that's enough to talk about, though.
There's plenty to talk about.
What brings you
I think,
faith?
I don't know.
yes, but it was just a suggestion.
Okay, I know it's a great suggestion. What other suggestions do we have?
Well, I don't have any suggestion at the moment, but I really like the message, the last message that you said. Like at the end, like the biggest challenge is to have faith. Again, like beyond all the circumstances. So I really like that. But yeah, I don't have any theme at the moment, but I'm going to think now.
Well, I think it's great, and I do need more faith. And the reason I said it's little, I guess, like for me, I just like don't know what I would say, because like I guess I would just say like I just have faith in the universe. Like the question closed, but I think I need to have more specific thinking about that. Like I also have faith in humanity. I have faith in like the sun being able to grow food, so I'm never afraid of like famines and things like that. So there is a lot of things to have faith with. So we'll keep the floor open for ideas. But I do like that idea, especially if others like it as well. Last call for ideas. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll do that next week. Rosemary, now that now you have to explain more about so explain us to a little bit more about what we should be thinking about in this coming week and things like that.
Okay, so you can think about what brings you faith when you have your down moments. What is it that you remind yourself of and that calms you down? Is it someone? Is it a thing? Is it you trying to reach out for your own shoulder and help yourself situation? Do you reach out to someone? Where do you find faith and what works for you?
Yeah, I like it. It could be faith against challenge. Yeah, like the general theme. But I like what you said.
Yeah,
Could
like
also
go ahead.
it could also be challenges too. It in connection with challenges, faith and challenges.
Like what brings you faith in the face of insurmountable odds, or like
Or even day to day, you have to have faith.
yeah, I think just the what brings you faith. I think that's a good enough subject. And then like Ombre was saying, if you want to take it in your own direction, like that's the point. The point is like we have a general idea and it's not super specific. Because part of the value is how each person you know, because we all have different ideas of faith and how we can make the yes gesture in India.
Interesting. Oh yeah.
That's how they say yes sometimes. Or maybe, I don't know. Okay, affirmation. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, I think we got it. I'll type something up and share it to the group so Corellia doesn't miss out. That's all I got, guys. Anybody have anything else they want to discuss? Anything you want to share? Or we can just say, thank you all so much for being here. It's great to see you. Space Wrangler Joe, Ombre Solar, Rosemary, and Dancing Joy. I like to say it fast. It's like Dancing Joy.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Guru, very much. And thanks, everybody. Great to see you. I'm Bryce Oler, Rosemary, and Joe. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Are we doing the sign?
Yeah, we're gonna do the sign. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, guys. Love you. Big hugs.
I love you too.
Bye-bye. Have
Bye-bye.
a good week.
Have a good
Bye.
week.
See you next week.